Good morning. It's Ginny and Tim from the beautiful Upper Peninsula of Michigan at DS Tech. We are going to share with you some tips on being more secure and productive when working remotely. But before we do, go to our website, sign up for our newsletter so you get more tips about working from home, about working in the office, and all kinds of stuff, especially cybersecurity tips. So we have some tips for you. It's at dstech.net, if I didn't say that. So
obviously with the whole COVID situation and the lockdowns, it created a lot of need for remote work real fast. So there was kind of a rush to get all these people to work remotely, hybrid, all that stuff. And now that
I have a story that we can start with because it's kind of interesting because before it hit, Eric, our boss, was already planning on, because we had a bad flu season.
Yep.
The year before.
Even before that, yep.
Yeah, and there were a lot of people out of the office and stuff. So what he did is he made a plan for people to work from home so that if they were sick and they weren't, you
weren't so sick that you can't get out of bed, right?
Right.
You just don't want to maybe spread it to your coworkers or things like that.
Right, but you could get some work done, right?
Yes.
So he actually was already shifting us to go home.
Getting the process in place.
Yeah, he was gonna send me home for a week, and then somebody, just to get it.
Practice it.
Practice it and get it working. And then it hit, and we were ready.
Yeah,
it was kind of crazy.
And then with the software we have, it's really easy to remote in if needed to from another computer and all that. But I'll talk into how.
Anyway, I just thought it was really weird that he already had a plan in place before it hit.
Yep. And it's good to have that.
It's kind of crazy.
A lot of businesses may have already had those plans because some of them may be offered benefits where, say, you're a brand new parent. You can work from home for the first couple of months if you want to be around your kid, for example, or other situations where if you're sick, working from home. A lot of companies already had remote work policies in place and things like that. It's just that the lockdowns essentially forced a lot of people to kind of adapt. And so now that that's kind of over and we're still kind of lingering with the results of it, where a lot of people are liking the benefits of working remote because there's lots of benefits for both employees and for workers. So being able to adapt to that, but then making sure you're doing it both securely and efficiently so that you're getting the most out of your staff is kind of important now. So the biggest thing I can't stress enough is if you have the means and to do so, you should have a work-issued computer that you're working from at home. The biggest thing is you don't want to be using your personal computer that you may be using for your day-to-day at night watching Netflix, whatever you're doing, and then using that same computer to then do your work from later. Because what'll happen is even if you're logging in with a VPN to your other computer, there could still be keyloggers or things on that computer that because it's not protected under the company policy, if it's not a company-issued device, that maybe they'll start scraping passwords and other things like that. So you just want to make sure that you have a company-issued computer, if possible. That's the best, most secure way to do it. And then it'll have the same security that you would have in the office with the antivirus and all those different security benefits that you would get. So that's the number one thing I can't stress. If you have the means for it, do that. That's the most secure way to do it.
We talked about that a little bit before we came on camera, but I just literally have two computers in my office at home. And one of them is DS Tech computer and the other is my home computer. So I just literally unplug one and plug in the other. If I'm at work, plug in that one. And if I'm, it's in my mind too. It's like I'm at work, I'm at home, right?
You can kind of separate them out like that. That's how I have too. I have a separate just work from home computer as well. And it works out well because then you just plug it in. And the nice thing is we have the Microsoft 365. So everything is synced. So when I log in at home, if I haven't worked at home in a month and I've been at the office all the time, I may take a few minutes to pull all the new changes down. But your desktop, your bookmarks, all your office documents are all synced between the two. So when you log in on your computer at home, it's just like you're logging in at the office. Your bookmarks are
exactly the same.
Everything's the same. Depending on your internet connection, maybe it might be a little slower. But other than that, everything looks and feels and drives the same. You don't have to relearn and recreate your workflow processes.
It's literally I'm at work, only I'm sitting in this space instead of a different one. That's the benefit
of having the Azure Active Directory, or you're in the cloud where everything is synced with the Microsoft 365. If you have that set up with your staff, that's what we're
One thing. The other day I worked from home because my baby girl left for college. And I wanted to be home so that I didn't have that hour commute,
Yep.
So anyway, one thing, I had notes written down on a notepad on my desk at work.
Oh, physical notes written down. Those aren't going to transfer.
Those aren't going to transfer. So what I did is I called Nina and I said, will you send me a picture of that note?
There you go. Yep, I need my notes on what I was going to do. Yep. So
anyway.
So yeah. So
Just
other than having a work issue computer, all that kind of stuff, I try to bring your notes and your tips home with you too. Kind of establishing a routine is actually very important when you're working from home. At least when I was working from home, what helped me anyway was actually do the same routine as going into the office. Maybe a few minutes later if you don't have a commute, but wake up, have coffee, take a shower, get dressed in your work clothes, all the same stuff you do. Don't get lazy where it's easy to think, oh, I'll just
show up in my
pajamas maybe, or whatever. You hear the stories, but I encourage, don't do that, because it's not putting you in that work mentality, that work frame of mind. By doing your routine in the morning, it gets you ready to go, and it will help you focus and narrow it down.
Not to mention it won't be embarrassing on camera.
Yeah, if you have to have a Teams meeting or something and you're not dressed properly or something silly, you clearly should be, yeah. And then as far as you always want to try to, if you have the ability to create some sort of space to work out of, that's part of that routine, whether it be a little office you can set up somewhere, if it's in an attic, in a basement, in a garage, it kind of separate yourself from everything and kind of establish rules then with your family, whether it be, try to do your best at getting your animals and your kids away, to know that, hey, during this time I'm working, only coming for emergencies. Establishing those boundaries and keeping them in place is very helpful as well. And then just kind of trying to have, in order to keep these employees who are working remote more part of the team. That's the biggest thing you lose out of, is when everyone's at home, you're not getting the same collaboration in the same field, everyone in the office, kind of poking in and things like that. So if you are going to that more of a remote session, you can have either check-ins one-on-one with the individual staff that are out, maybe have a little session with management and them can talk to make them feel part of the team, or have a little group Teams meeting in the morning, where we leverage Teams a lot internally, where we'll have a 15-minute chat every morning where we just have everyone in the call. Yep. Hey, what's going on for the day? Here's what we got going on. Here's any emergencies going on, and just have a quick little.
If there's any
chat.
Quick questions for each other, you
Yep.
know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you have any problems on your tickets, you can ask the group kind of as a quick little brainstorming session every morning, and that helps keep everyone feeling we're still part of the team, and you're not just isolated in an office from home, separated from everyone
I don't know
else.
if you have yours set up, but my Teams is my phone too.
Okay.
Is yours set up that way?
I haven't. It is now. They just switched it to where I'm going to start getting all my calls through Teams, so I'll leveraging that more as well.
It is cool. And then what I like is that you can make a video call too.
Yeah, just by hitting a button right there.
So then you can see each other's faces and talk to each other.
We use that supporting a lot in techs in the field. You could have a tech in the field who's like, hey, I have this problem. And they're like, show me. And it's just video chat. Here's what I'm looking at now. And then a tech can see what's going on.
Oh, that's cool.
Because normally you couldn't see
I didn't think of that.
And things like Or, used to just take a picture and send it. But now you can do a live feed a lot easier.
We have a lot of smart brains in this office building that, not everybody knows the same thing. So that's pretty cool that you can tap into that.
Teamwork is what makes it work
for sure.
So just making it easy with the M365 and all that kind of stuff is good. Having the daily chats, again, using Teams more is important, or whatever chat communication tool you have. Just have those team meetings with them, and it'll help keep them feeling part of the group. Also sharing the same resources in the office that's available to those working remotely. Again, that is also usually part of the 365 thing, where like all your shared drive, it might be, let's say, the P drive for public or whatever, where you have your shared documents everyone in the office is working out of. Well, with those, you can have them in the cloud and, like, say, SharePoint, so then people can access those documents from home using the OneDrive and all that stuff as well. So having the same resources available. And then one thing that can be kind of nice is, whether it's every month or every quarterly or things like that, as a company, you could have gatherings or get-togethers, whether it be a training for all your different staff or just a fun get-together, and encourage those who are working remote to come into the office, and then we can have, a gathering to get everyone all in the same place at once. Can really help build the team building, as well as just make everyone feel like they're part of it all. So again, there's lots of benefits for those employees who are working remote. Biggest thing is more, you're around your kids and your family more. You don't have to, if you do get sick and you still want to work, you can work from home a little bit easier. There's a lot of things that do come with the benefit of that.
Or if you're snowed in.
Yeah, or up here, if you get snowed in or bad weather, something happens, you're not having
We have a long driveway. And we only have like when the kids leave, we only have the one that's all-wheel drive. So,
Well, one will make it, the other one doesn't.
So it's nice to be able to plug in my work computer and go to work.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned it too, but it's important to have your workspace set up.
Yes, definitely.
Like I actually have an office set up
Yep.
upstairs away from the family so that when I go into my office, I'm in my office.
Shut the door and be like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm working now. And then, yep. So definitely it's good to have an isolated office somewhere that you can kind of set as you get part of that routine of I'm
Of your
working and going
workplace.
into this workplace. Yep.
Yeah.
Keeps you in that mindset for sure is helpful. So
I mean, it's fun to sit on your couch, but
everyone loves to sit on the
Yeah.
couch on the laptop or whatever, check your emails in the bed while you're sipping your coffee in the morning, but it's not really the most productive. You want to think about your posture too. You know, you're not gonna, if you do that for many hours a day, it's not gonna be good for you. So sit up and do that well.
the one thing I miss is here I have a stand-up desk.
Oh
And
yeah.
at home I don't, but that's because my office is in an attic space.
Also, you just don't have as
I
much
don't
room.
have, I can't stand up.
Yeah. So there's that.
There is that.
Mhm. So
Anyway.
yeah, I think that's about all I had for really the tips. The biggest thing I can't stress enough is trying to keep it secure. You know, you have all the benefits of,
Yeah.
of having the things synced and things like that if you have a work computer, but the biggest benefit is the security of it. Is because if you have a computer that's dedicated, I only do work in this computer, I don't do anything else. It has the same security as the office. It's tied into the office and it's completely separate. That's the best, most secure thing you can do. Same thing like if you're working, say, not just at your house, but say you're at travel all the time. There's also remote workers who travel or they're going to conventions, things like that. Just be wary of obviously using public Wi-Fi. You know, try to use the issued Wi-Fi at hotels, and then always use VPNs when you're trying to work on things like that, just to kind of be secure in that sense. But from home, home office type setup, you know, try to get a company issued computer and have it set up with all the same security stuff that you have at the office.
Excellent. Great tips.
So.
Well, happy working from home or wherever you're working from.
Mhm.
And make sure you sign up for our newsletter at dstech.net. You'll also can sign up for a free security assessment or whatever assessment.
Mhm.
Just fill out the
Or if
form.
you want help setting up your staff to work remotely, and
there
you're
you go.
concerned about doing it properly and securely, give us a call and we'll walk you through that process.
For sure. Make it a great day.